Right, here we have the MFJ 223. It's a very small analyzer. I'll put a small spoon next to it there. Excuse the tea stains. But we put a small spoon because it's a very small analyzer. Perfect for out in the field, fully rechargeable. At the moment I've got it connected to my 10-11 meter range antenna, which is my Stereo Tornado 27. Good antenna, by the way. And I'm going to do like a quick scan. We do a single scan and then we do a frequency scan across a range, just so you can see the sort of information and how to use this. So we'll initially start with a single scan. So we'll click on single, which is under there. F3 is only 4 buttons and a power button, and we have a dial at the top here. Now at the moment you can see that we've got the frequency set to 28.3. So this is quite sort of simple to change. You click the button, you can go through the range, and we're going to take it down to 28, just so we can see it sits roughly in the middle on this frequency scan. We've got two options. Return will take us to the menu, and run here, which is above the F4 button. So we click F4, and we can see that here we're on SWR 1.14 on 28 megahertz. Now if we want to look through the range, we can just tap the button on the top and we can go down through it. So we can go down to the CB frequencies. You can see it's at on 27 megahertz, it's at 1.66 to 1. The impedance is 34.7, resistance 32.7, and the reactance at 11.6. The S antenna value, I'm not entirely sure what that's for. I have to be honest, it's a new one on me. But anyway, we can go up through. We can see that as we get to 27.7, the SWR goes down to 1.09 to 1. Impedance at 48 and resistance at 47. So as we go up into the 10 meter band, we'll sort of start around 28.3. We can see my antennas at 1.3 to 1, impedance at 69, and resistance at 69. Now the reason I sort of chosen my antenna to be tuned with the higher impedance and resistance on those frequencies is because I use a Yaesu when I'm using the 10 meter band, and it's got a built-in tuner. I've got the FT710, so it can tune out and tune down on that resistance. That's not a problem. So you can kind of flick at them through the band and you can see it. So you can go out through there, and you can see as we sort of hit towards 29.3, I'm on 2.4, so I'm still under 3. It's not perfect, it's not ideal, but you know, it's what the antenna is. You know, we can tune it so it'd work more for 10 meters. I've tried to keep mine sort of like as a mid-band. Excuse the camera wobbling there. So anyway, we click stop. So then the other way we can use this, so we click return, is we can do like a scan against it. So you can see that we've got the 4 buttons again: help, system, single, scan. We're going to do a scan. We're going to click F4. Okay, now you can do like you can see the span is currently set to 6 megahertz. It will go either side, so it'll go 3 to the left or 3 to the right of whatever frequency you're on. So if we go up to 27.9, so to go through the band, you just click the dial to get to the number you want to be on. You go to 9, okay, and we're going to run a scan there. So we'll run a scan with a span of 6 megahertz, and we're going to start with the midpoint being 27.9, and we run the scan by pressing F4. And you can see here as it's at the top, the frequency is changing as it's going through the scan, and we can see the SWR figures on the right hand side as values because this is the standard scan that we selected. So once it's completed, you can see there's a red line at the bottom there. If we move the red line, move the red line all the way over to the left hand side to the point that it's basically at 2.5. So you can see here I can use my radio safely here at a SWR of 201, starting at 26.6 megahertz. It's at its prime position down here at 27.7, which is towards the top end of the 11 meter band, and then we can go all the way up. I'm gonna just move the red dial to it hits 2-ish, and we can see that I can go all the way up to 28.9. Now we can safely, obviously as everyone knows, we can go up to 3 without damaging the radio. Ideally is below 2 for loss of power, but that's not really an issue with DXing. So we've got, if we got to 3 up there, we can say I'm all the way up to 29.7 with a SWR sitting at 306. So, you know, we've got sort of quite a wide band result on there. Now you can flip through the graph on here, and you can show the Z wave, you can show the R wave, resistance wave, and you can show the X wave. So as far as antenna analyzers go, this is an extremely sort of good and immediate method of viewing your frequency range and your tuning on your antenna, you know, in a very small device. Now these aren't particularly cheap, as most MFJ equipment is, but you know, from a size perspective, I'll just hold it in my hand. You can see that it's an extremely small and versatile unit, and something, you know, in my opinion, worth picking up second hand and putting in your arsenal. So yeah, the MFJ 223 vector impedance antenna analyzer. Hope that's been useful.